Hello students, welcome to our last topic of the chapter microorganisms, food poisoning and preservation of food. Throughout this chapter, we have learned about different types of microorganisms, some of which are beneficial to us, whereas some cause severe harm. We all love to eat delicious food, isn't it? Different juicy fruits are also our favorite. But what happens if the microbes spoil these tasty and delicious food items and the fruits in our life? Let us see how we can preserve these delicious food items and keep for long time. Food, if not stored properly, gets spoiled due to the action of enzymes present in it or due to growth of bacteria or fungi mainly. It is because these bacteria and fungi multiply fast in the warm and humid conditions. How? They grow fast by digesting the nutrients of the food and spoil the food. You know, aflatoxin is a toxin produced during growth of the fungus, namely Aspergillus. Aspergillus grow on grains and vegetables and secrete this toxin. This toxin causes liver damage. So, if we consume the food which is spoiled by the fungus, that will cause liver damage. Also, the bacterium called Staphylococci causes food poisoning in our daily life by producing a heat-resistant toxin in the food. So, as this toxin is heat-resistant, so it remains in the food even when the bacteria have been killed during cooking. So, by boiling or cooking also, we cannot remove that toxin. Now, I hope you know the meaning of toxin. A toxin is a harmful chemical. Now, let's see what are the common symptoms of food poisoning. Usually, we suffer from vomiting along with headache, diarrhea, and sometimes even fever. That is, rise of body temperature. Food poisoning is caused by number 1, microorganisms such as fungi and bacteria mostly. Common of them are the group of bacteria Salmonella, Staphylococci, Clostridium botulinum and Aspergillus. Please read after me. It is Salmonella, Staphylococci, Clostridium botulinum and Aspergillus. Number 2, the toxins produced in the food by these bacteria and fungi. Also, traces of pesticides may be a cause of food poisoning. Pesticides, which are the chemicals used in the field to kill different pests. So, very little less amount of pesticides, that is traces of pesticides, sometimes remain in the food. That may be one of the cause of food poisoning. Lastly, the metal salts produced by the action of food with the material of the container or cooking utensils. Therefore, cooking utensil should be made up of such a material which do not react and produce metallic salts while cooking. You know, students, the bacterium Clostridium botulinum causes a rare but dangerous form of food poisoning known as botulism. Please read this part and see how it is harmful to the animals. But let us not be worried about it. We can preserve our tasty, delicious food item as well as fruits and vegetables through some processes. Let's read what are the processes of food preservation. Food preservation can be done by the following processes. Number 1, by cooling. Spoilage of food items such as vegetable, fruits, meat, boiled milk, curd and cooked food can be prevented by keeping them at low temperature. And where is that? Yes, it is inside refrigerator or deep freezer. It is because low temperature prevents the spoilage of food by reducing the growth of bacteria and inactivating the enzymes present in the food. So we can keep these food items by keeping them in refrigerator, and if we keep them in deep freezer, we can preserve them for even months. Different food items can also be preserved by heating and cooling treatment. The process is known as pasteurization. In this method, milk is heated to about 60 to 65 degrees Celsius for about 30 minutes, which kill the bacteria present in the milk. And then it is followed by sudden cooling to prevent the remaining bacteria from growing. The milk is then filled into sterilized bottles or pouches. This method was discovered by a French scientist, namely Louis Pasteur, and nowadays it is used as preserving milk, the method for preserving milk. So it is a very important process by which we can preserve our milk. Next process, by dehydration. Dehydration means removal of water from the fruits and vegetables. So if the moisture is removed from this food, from these fruits and vegetables, then we can retard the growth of microorganisms in them. Therefore, this removal of moisture can be done by either sun drying or by smoking. Cauliflower, spinach, ginger, fenugreek, these can be sun dried, whereas fish and meat, these are dried by smoking. Also, we can preserve the food items by using salt and sugar, for example, while pickling, or by using oil and vinegar, by heating and canning. Heating food kills all food spoiling microbe. Then these food items, when canned under vacuum, remain safe for longer periods. So these processes are useful in commercial basis. Commercially, we can preserve the food items for long days. Also, we can preserve by using chemical preservatives, which are called food preservatives. Some of the examples like sodium benzoate and potassium metabisulfite are common food preservatives. These are used for preserving fruit juices, squashes. You must have seen on the label of squashes and fruit juices, there it is written food preservative. Potassium metabisulfite is used for preserving cut fruits, jams, jellies, etc. There is one more important process which is called vacuum packaging. Most snacks, yes, I guess all of you know, Lay's, that is potato wafers, or potato chips, Kurkure and all. Most snacks, these are marketed in sealed airtight packaging. The air from such packages is removed by evacuation and flushed with oxygen-free nitrogen. Therefore, vacuum packaging is very useful for preserving most snacks item for long periods, right? Whenever you feel you like to have some snacks, what you go for? You go for some Lay's or Kurkure, isn't it? So vacuum packaging is very useful for this type of food items. So finally, what are the advantages of food preservation? Why we should preserve our tasty, delicious food? Because it decreases the wastage of food. We can keep our extra food items and can consume on the next day. It increases the storage period or shelf life of the perishable food materials like fruits and vegetables. Food preservation ensures the availability of out of season food materials, right? It is due to food preservation we can have all types of our favorite fruits or vegetables throughout the year. And finally, it ensures the availability of perishable food material even at distant places. That is, we can send the delicious fruits or vegetables to different distant places which are far, right? So for marketing fruits or vegetables at distant places, they must be preserved properly, right? So at the end of this topic, what we know, what we have come to know, that food poisoning is caused by eating stale food or spoiled food. Symptoms of food poisoning are headache, fever, vomiting, diarrhea. Food poisoning is basically caused by the harmful chemical, that is toxin, produced in food by bacteria and fungi. Commonly they are Salmonella, Staphylococci, Aspergillus and Clostridium botulinum. Okay, so please go through this summary. And now you can answer the exercise questions of this chapter. So your exercise starts from very short answer questions which you have to answer in one word only. Question number 1. Name 2 typical habitats of microorganisms. The answer: air and water are 2 typical habitats of microbes, right? So you have to write air and water. Number 2, name a disease caused by bacteria. Here you can write any name of the disease, for example cholera. Number 3, name the microorganism that is used for obtaining alcohol from sugar. Yes, you are right, it is yeast. Answer is yeast. Number 4, name one carrier of disease causing microorganism. Insects are the carrier, so you write female Anopheles mosquito or simply mosquito. Number 5, where do the external parasites of animals live? External parasites mainly live on the surface of the body, so you can write skin. Okay, so we are done with the short answer questions here. Correct?